Before hopping in, I'd just like to say that this video contains footage from the first hour of the game Antichamber. So, if you have ever had any intention of playing the game, I would highly suggest clicking off this video until you have played at least the first hour. With all that said, let's hop right in. Antichamber is a first-person puzzle game developed by Alexander Bruce and published in January of 2013. You play as an unnamed protagonist as you explore a seemingly impossibly connected space, solving puzzles and trying to make your way around the confusing map. Now, you could just take my word for it and move on, but I feel that it is extremely important that people who aren't familiar with the game or the way it functions knows exactly what I mean when I refer to an impossibly connected space. So, I scavenged the following clip from my personal gameplay footage that I feel perfectly encapsulates what I am talking about. Oh! Life has a way of pushing us in the right direction. What the hell? It's the exploration of impossible spaces like these, combined with a self-made storyline that allows Antichamber to establish itself as a labyrinth-like experience. In order to fully explore how Antichamber's systems turn it into a labyrinth, we must split the game into these two categories: the maze and the story. At the very beginning of the game, in the room you start in, the player is presented with two very important things: an exit door and a map. However, the exit door is presented through a glass window you can only look through, and the map at first only has one destination on it. It is instantly made clear that in order to complete the maze, and thus the game, one must explore the lengths of the map in order to reach the other side of that glass and triumphantly step through the door. I find this to be an incredible introduction to the game, as it perfectly displays how the goal itself isn't nearly as important as the way that you get there. The game wants you to fully embrace the maze and allow yourself to wander and get lost within it. Within the maze at first, you are simply tasked with making your way around and exploring each area. However, it is once you get your hands on what I have referred to as the Minecraft gun that things start to change. The gun starts off with one simple ability: placing and collecting single cubes. These cubes are scattered throughout various rooms, and they must be manipulated in a specific way in order to pass through certain areas. These cubes have a plethora of uses, which makes every puzzle unique in the way that the blocks must be manipulated. Some blocks are used to place in holes, some are used to prop open doors, some are used to trigger laser switches, and some are even used as a platform to jump on. These block puzzles are extremely important for keeping the game's flow intact, as it prevents the player from instantly being able to explore every area of the maze from the start. As you gain new upgrades for your Minecraft gun, puzzles that were previously impossible will become possible and new areas of the map can be opened up. While this system sounds a bit linear, the order that you can complete each possible puzzle at your current gun upgrade is completely up to you. In one area, you might find a puzzle too difficult at first, go to a different puzzle, solve that one, and then come back. It is this freedom of exploration and puzzle solving that cements the maze within Antichamber as a multi-cursal maze. As opposed to a unicursal maze that only has one defined path to the end, the maze in Antichamber allows for full exploration of multiple different pathways, each with their own block puzzles and impossibly connected spaces. It is through the exploration of these various paths that results in the creation and discovery of the game's story. Okay, I need to be completely honest here. The story in this game takes a complete and utter backseat to the concept of the maze and exploring its corridors. However, that isn't to say that this game doesn't have a story at all. Scattered throughout each area of the maze are these black note cards taped to the wall that share small pieces of splash text. These bits of text can either directly pertain to the puzzles around them or contain various life philosophies. These text boxes are essentially as far as the game goes in terms of the storyline it shares directly with the player, and even then, they don't really pertain to the story itself, but rather the experiences that the player is personally having. In this way, the game cements its story as primarily based on the player's own experiences. You aren't having random pieces of the story shoved down your throat by the game while you play. You are the one creating the story for yourself. Every choice you make on where to explore next, or how you solve a particular puzzle, all contributes to your own narrative. In this way, Antichamber is able to place the core gameplay of exploring the maze at the forefront, highlighting it as the most important aspect of the experience. Without the maze, there is no story, no gameplay, and no game. Antichamber is able to perfectly utilize the maze it presents, as well as the story the maze creates, in order to successfully establish itself as a labyrinth. Every corridor you walk down, every puzzle you solve, and every note card you read all help to place the maze at the core of the gameplay experience, with the story emerging from your own personal journey exploring its many confusingly placed rooms. In my personal experience, while I found the game very confusing, I had an amazing time exploring new areas, trying my hand at new puzzles, and slowly piecing together my own narrative as I inched ever closer to that ominous exit door. I was constantly surprised by every situation the game put me in, and most of the puzzles were interesting and challenging without ever being tedious or annoying. I found the use of the Minecraft gun to be an incredibly interesting mechanic, with every usage of the gun being different in each puzzle. Every gun upgrade felt unique and fun to try out, and most of the puzzles utilized these upgrades very effectively. The core gameplay experience was practically flawless, minus a couple really annoying puzzles, and I never felt bored due to the constantly new mechanics the game introduced as I progressed through the maze. Ultimately, I find that the labyrinth presented within Antichamber was one of the most intriguing experiences within gaming that I have had to date, and can easily cement Antichamber as one of the greatest puzzle games I have ever played. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this style of video. It's completely new to me, but I tried it out and I thought it turned out pretty well. So let me know in the comments below if you want to see any more videos like this in the future. And see you guys later.